and today we are talking transfer news. Transfer news, as Manchester United will probably be looking to sign someone before the deadline closes. So let's put out a poll here. Who will Man United sign before deadline today? Okay, so we got that up. I want to know from you guys who you think Manchester United will be signing. And to be honest, it's been a bit quiet. It's been a bit quiet. I haven't heard anything major as of yet, but I'm hearing that our scouts are out there. The Manchester United scouts are out there right now doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we could be signing a new player today, but we also might not be signing a new player at the same time. So I feel like the chances are a 20% chance of us actually bringing someone new to Old Trafford. So I got a feeling that there's more outgoings than incomings. Um, so let's see. I'm looking at Fabrizio right now, and he's quiet. You know, your David Winsteins. So it's looking it's looking quiet at Manchester United, but hopefully we can bring in a new number six or even a fullback. Just we need to bring in someone who can actually add to the squad depth. So we need that as well. Even though we are still not in the Champions League, even though we are playing a few games, we still need someone to replace Casemiro when he's out. It's not like Casemiro will be able to play every game this season. So we need to make sure that we can get a backup for Casemiro. We know that there's Ugarte, who is supposed to be a backup for Casemiro, but can we rely on Ugarte? That's the thing. And we have been needing a successor for Casemiro anyway. So if we're going to be signing someone, it's got to be now, I feel like. But with Manchester United knowing that Michael Carrick might not have the job at the end of the season, they are not 100% sure if they should be getting a player now in January. So a player could be coming in at the end of the season in the summer. So we don't know, we don't know with Manchester United. You never know with them. Sometimes, they could be just signing a player on deadline day. Otherwise, we will be waiting for that. And like I said, reporters have been quiet about Manchester United. Anything else are just rumors for now. But who knows? The clock is ticking. Guys, if you just joined the channel, welcome to the channel. Let me know who will Man United be signing before deadline. And that is what we are going to be discussing today. It's deadline day, the 2nd of Feb, and we are waiting to see if Manchester United are actually going to go out there and sign somebody, you know. And I've also heard that there are rumors that we are currently scouting on players like Lorenzo Luca, because the scouts are out there in Italy watching Udinese versus AS Roma, so they're scouting for a new striker as well. Maybe somebody to compete with Benjamin Sesko, which I really don't understand, because we've got to address the elephant in the room here, and that is a new midfielder that we need. If you just joined the channel, drop your comments down below, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts on this deadline day. Who are you expecting? Who are you hoping to be joining Manchester United here? Because it's not all rosy at the club right now. We know that we do need some new incomings. We need some new players coming in right now. So at the moment, we are basically working on outgoings, player departures, and it's mainly the youngsters, the under 21 mostly, because I've seen a lot of players leave, the likes of Hugo Hill and a lot more. So we are waiting to find out if there's anybody coming to the senior squad. And I'm really hoping that we can wake up tomorrow or find out later that Manchester United have signed a new midfielder, because that is the exact situation that we're in right now, and the problem that we are facing is somebody who we can rely on after Casemiro, because you saw this weekend Casemiro can't be playing the full 90, and having him come out for a Manu Ugarte, that's not something that you want to see, because we know Ugarte isn't as um, reliable. It's Manuel Ugarte. So we've seen how he plays. Can he be a successor for Casemiro next season? I don't think so. Look, I love Ugarte as a player, but can he do it for us? No, I feel like he can't. I feel like he still hasn't adapted um, to Manchester United yet, to life in the Premier League. And I see other teams are making moves. You get the likes of Liverpool, who I feel like they've just gotten a new defender as well. So it'll be interesting what the likes of Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox do in this transfer window, in this deadline day. We've only got a few minutes until it shuts. So we're going to have to wait for that, guys. But as a Manchester United fan, I know that you are wanting a new player walk in. Right, guys, please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We are here. It's deadline day. It's the deadline day show. We as Manchester United supporters, we know that we do need a new signing. Okay, we need a new signing. Other teams are making signings. They are upgrading their team, and they're just bolstering their squad. And we, as a team that wants to make top four, a team that wants to compete, as well as in the Champions League, if you want to compete with the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Aston Villa, whatever the case is, we need new signings. SN says y'all have only won 3 games in a row, not the league, relax. Oh, well, yes, 3 games in a row. We are heading to winning more games, so it's going to be interesting. 3 games is a lot for us. The last time we won 3 in a row was with Amorim, but he took a while for that to happen, even though he was with us in for a whole 14 months. So Michael Carrick came in, just a few games it took him to win us the 3 in a row. But 3 in a row doesn't mean that we don't need any new recruitments. So it's a lot that we've got to consider here. Let's not get carried away by 3 wins in a row. So we have to want new players. We have to be hungry for new players if we want. And I've looked everywhere, and it doesn't look like Manchester United are going to be signing anybody. They seem quiet. Who are your transfer wishes? Who do you wish Manchester United would be signing today? Because it is the deadline day, and typical of Manchester United to leave things late. Dennis Chang says Man United. Who do you think Man United will be signing? Let me know. Is it Carlos Baleba? Is it your Elliot Andersons? Or your Adam Whartons? Your Joao Gomez? Who is it? I am very, very much anticipated to know who is going to be walking in at Manchester United. Even if it's a loan player, even if we're going out there to loan someone in, I will take that. I will take that, because it is better than nothing. It's a new player joining the club and bolstering our squad. That is something that we need. We've also got Dorgu, who's out injured, so we need somebody that can also play in that position. I heard about Marcus Rashford. I don't know if that's going to happen right now, because Barcelona are currently enjoying life with Marcus Rashford. Let's be honest, he's been doing great there. He's got so many assists. I think he's got 7 assists this season at Barcelona. So I doubt that he'll be coming back anytime soon. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I know that we've got a buyback clause with Mason Greenwood as well. But our issue, we know that it's not up front, it's not in the attack. It's rather in that midfield. Black Cat says Carlos Baleba maybe. Well, it'll be interesting to see if Brighton would be letting him go now. I know that in the previous transfer window we were supposed to be getting him. There was so much hype about it, and just so many rumors. You know, Manchester United is a club that is built in so many rumors right now. It's not like the old days where we speak of a player, we sign him tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting. Um, but yes, I see even Tottenham are signing players. So it's interesting. City got their player, you know, in Mark Gay. So, it just feels like our recruitment team is the only one lacking at the moment because as a big club, as Manchester United, you're supposed to move on swiftly. You move on fast, you get the player that you want, you move on with your season. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. We know it's halfway through the season right now, but things need to happen. You know, things need to happen for games to be won, for teams to build progression, to build momentum. So let's wait and see. We've got about a half an hour until the transfer window is shut, and I haven't heard anything as of yet. Okay, so Blackhead says, I don't think Man United are going to bring in any player, bro. My brother, I'm with you on this one, but you never know. You never know. I remember back a few seasons, Manchester United had not signed anybody and they had left it late and ended up signing Marwan Fellaini. I think that was under David Moyes. So you never know. We are a deadline day team, and that is no secret. It's no secret. Manchester United never make it easy for anybody. They are always dramatic. But who knows? Who knows? We could be waking up with a new midfielder. We could be waking up with a new left back, a new winger. So let's keep our hopes up. But in terms of spending, we are also very reluctant with that. We are very, I would say, very scarce. Manchester United don't like spending, and I haven't seen a lot of departures happen for big amounts. So it's not like we have made any sort of profit in order for us to be signing players. And that goes under FFP, FIFA Fair Play rules. So let's see what happens. And we don't want to mess up with our PSR as well. So there's a lot to consider. There's a lot to consider. But right now, if you're asking me, is it a want or a need for us to be signing players? I would say it's a need currently. We never know how the season may turn out. We never know who might be injured. Because right now, you saw Patrick Dogo, one of our most valuable players at the moment, go out injured. Who did we have to replace him? Matheus Cunha, okay, but then who's going to replace Matheus Cunha? You have to consider these sort of situations as well. Man United should sign back the GOAT. Anthony says Thomas Muller. Anthony, I feel like, where would Anthony be playing? He's left. Got Amad Diallo in that position. I feel like we got Amad Diallo. In Amad Diallo's replacement, we've got Shea Lacey, and Brian Mbeumo can also shift to that position. So it's kind of crowded at the moment. I don't know why we are wanting to sign forwards, because that forward role isn't an issue right now. We don't need any more attackers, I feel. We've already spent a lot on attackers, almost 150 to 200 million. So let's rather go for the issue at the moment. Let's rather fix the issue that we have, and that is the midfield. Mystery Man says we play once a week, we'll be fine. Mason Mount, Xerxes, and academy players. You could have a point there. You could have a point, but like I said, we never know what happens. We never know, and it seems like Michael Carrick knows how to utilize, his resources. He's not a manager who wants big players. It doesn't seem that way, but you can't tell me he doesn't want to sign anybody. You can't tell me he hasn't sort of found any issue with the squad. And if we're having to address the elephant in the room here, the issue is the midfield. The midfield, players are getting old as well. The likes of Luke Shaw. We know Diego Dallo is a menace in that right back position. And when I say menace, I don't mean it in a good way. So we have to consider fixing those sort of situations up. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Let's join the community and let's make Manchester United great again. Darth Vader says Liverpool is catching up. Certainly. Liverpool, your Chelsea's. So, like I said, if we want to move ahead, if we want to become better than we were yesterday, we have to add some new recruitments. We have to make the squad stronger. We can't just keep watching our rivals, make all these signings, bolstering the squad, making the squad better, whereas we just sit there and relax. Because if that's the case, something goes wrong, and then who is it to blame? Because it can't be Michael Carrick. And the other reason is the fact that Michael Carrick doesn't necessarily have the answers. He doesn't necessarily have, he can't be calling the shots here at Manchester United. We saw with Ruben Amorim. So if there's anyone that's actually in charge of transfer situations, in charge of transfer deals, in charge of recruitment on who wants what, that is obviously Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, Ineos, and the Glazer family. And that's it. That's the issue that we have here. Because if we gave the managers more power into signing players, then definitely we would know exactly. Michael Carrick wants a certain Baleba. He wants an Adam Wharton, because that's the case. That's also one of the reasons why Ruben Amorim was sacked, is because he couldn't have a say. Two Bears Bros, I would appreciate it if you sub to the channel. Yes, subscribe to the channel if you just joined. Let's grow the community together. It's transfer deadline day. I know we are all excited, but I'm also going to say it. Don't have your hopes up too much, Rather just keep calm and expect the worst with Manchester United. I wouldn't even be surprised if a big player left, a Joshua Zirkzee, because that's also another important one. If we're talking about players departing, I feel like Joshua Zirkzee leaves today. He hasn't played games. I know he's had an injury, but the fact that he's missing out a lot on minutes at Manchester United is very concerning. I like Joshua Zirkzee, but is there a position for him? Does he have a way into this Michael Carrick squad, especially with Mbeumo performing, Matheus Cunha, your Patrick Dorgus, and your obviously Amad Diallo, and Benjamin Sesko, of course. Thank you to bros for the subscription. Appreciate you. Have a good evening. Vinay Gamer says, who is the real GOAT, Messi or Ronaldo? Bring Zirkzee to Chelsea. I feel like Zirkzee would be a good fit to Chelsea. You'd be performing better than Delap has been performing. Blackhead says Zirkzee leaving. That's the thing. We will only find out when the window shuts today. But it's a 50-50 situation at the moment, because if a club comes with a decent bid, if they put down a decent bid on the table, Manchester United has no choice but to sell Joshua Zirkzee, because I don't see him playing as a number 10. I don't see him playing up front as a striker either. So we're very stacked up front. All it needs is a decent bid for Manchester United to actually sell Joshua Zirkzee. Good player, good lad. He was once the Serie A youngster of the season, and he is an Eric Ten Hag signing, that is. So who knows? Manchester is blue. Nulu says, mate, you're saying Manchester is blue, but they can't even beat Spurs, when you need it most. So I don't think Manchester's blue anytime soon. Bro, do you like David Beckham? Myself personally, I like David Beckham. If we're talking about past players, I feel like David Beckham, out of the likes of Paul Scholes, out of the likes of your Roy Keanes, at the moment, because the others are just all over the show. Like, they need to calm down right now. David Beckham is calm, relaxed. He's minding his own business. Quality player. You sound South African. Jack with Thora says, "Yes, I'm South African, my brother." You can like and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate, guys. Especially if you're new to the chat here. Especially if you're new to the chat. Um, Black Cat says, "Don't worry, United will baptize Manchester into red again." I really hope so. Knuckles says, "But it's been blue for years." Man, I'm South African too. Good to hear from you, my South African brother. As we know, the deadline, well, the window is still open at the moment here in South Africa, as it is 8:30. Well, it's going to 22 now, so Manchester United need to be signing somebody because the window shuts at 9 o'clock. And UK time is obviously at 7. For us, it's at 9 o'clock. Yes, the window is still open, I understand. Bro, who is the best defender, Maldini or Ramos? To be honest with you, I wasn't really around the Maldini era, but Sergio Ramos, quality defender. But from what I hear and from the videos that I've watched, I would say Maldini. I would say Maldini. But all due respects to the GOAT, Sergio Ramos. Van Dijk is better than Ramos. I don't think so. I feel like Ramos could go into that Liverpool team right now and do a better job than what Van Dijk is doing at Liverpool. Van Dijk just lost so much aura points at the moment. It's actually scary. I haven't seen not one Man U player that Man U sold or bought. Jake says, "Yes, we are not signing anybody, as it seems. The clock keeps ticking. We are more focused on, like I was saying, player negotiations in terms of player contracts and just selling players rather, especially with the under 21s. A lot of the under 21s have been leaving the club. There's actually a whole list of names here that I can find for you guys. But yes, it's basically those players that can't really make it through to the first team. So they have been leaving to the likes of Hull City, Championship, and so on. Ariane says the guy is getting a haircut. Yes, the United strand is getting a haircut because Manchester United is going to win 5 in a row. Next game is against Spurs. Then after that, we got West Ham, who are struggling right now. So you tell me. The last time we got 5 in a row was with Eric Ten Hag. So it's been a minute. We need to sell Mason Mount. Jake says, "I do not agree with that. Mason Mount is a very important player for Manchester United. There's no way we're selling Mason Mount. I still think Chelsea selling Mason Mount was a mistake. Okay, even though they got Cole Palmer, Mason Mount is vital for Manchester United. He just needs some game time and just some football. That's all Mason Mount needs. Otherwise, Mason Mount stays at Manchester United, in my opinion. But I'm also thinking that quality player, a lot of benching at the moment, and we do know that he's a big game player, but there's a lot of minutes that he's missing out. So if we had to sell him, I wouldn't be too upset because as long as the right offer comes along, I'm willing to sell Mason Mount. But if you're telling me we're just selling him for the sake of selling him, there's no way. Hugo says, "Bro, do you think we're going to win against Tottenham?" Spurs being Michael Carrick's former club, and the momentum that we're in right now. Look, the big game was supposed to be against Fulham, and we've come across, we jumped over that hurdle, and now it's just about keeping consistency. So 100% we are beating Spurs at Old Trafford because the reverse fixture gives us an upper hand. Yeah, we already played in their stadium. Now it's time that we play at Old Trafford And we know what happens in the theater of dreams. Anything can happen in the theater of dreams. So let's keep our fingers crossed. We are going to beat Spurs here. But I was very impressed with what they did against City. You know, good goals, good plays. They were basically using their reserve team. A lot of their players were injured, so I'm pretty sure a lot are going to be back against Manchester United. But Manchester United are flying high right now. Like I was saying, I feel like we can beat any team right now. That's how confident I am. Spurs can come through. They're going to get a hiding. They're going to get a hiding from Manchester United. And we deserve our revenge. We deserve our revenge. Um, so yes, let's see what happens. Jake says, to be honest, I'm happy we sold Onana. Well, Onana is out on loan at the moment, but we do need to sell him on a permanent basis. I think that's still going to come. Gus says, do you have a scar? No, I don't have a scar, mate. A scarf. No, I don't have a scarf, mate. What scarf I really do need is the glazes out scarf. So I need one of those, you know, one of those yellow green scarves. That's what I need. I should have been at the protest and chanting glazes out, Ineos out. I should have been there because apparently it was very big, and a lot of people will still say that it might not have been an effective protest. It might not even been a blink of a change coming through. So we don't know. We don't know. But the 1958 group was there. They were protesting, and that is what matters. You know, the fans just want a change. So let's hope that things change. Like right now, they were protesting for things like this. Deadline day, no signings. That is the reason why we are having protesters outside of Old Trafford, because we want our club back. You know, this doesn't even look like Manchester United. I feel like I'm supporting a Burnley, you know, and you can't tell me the pool game isn't there, because everybody wants to be a Manchester United player. Everybody wants to play for Manchester United. So if you're telling me there are players that don't want to play for Manchester United, I would say that's a lie, mate. I would say that's a lie. Because where is the money going? Where is the revenue going? You know? And the players, they're not even in high wages like that. Because I know Casemiro's is on like 350. Then you got Bruno Fernandes is on like 300. You know, and then the rest is like another two that are on 200 per week in wages. So you can't tell me that there's a lot of players that are actually benefiting a lot in terms of wages, as well as cost cutting. We did a lot of cost cutting, especially last year, with the staff as well. So where are we going as a club? Is this the new norm for Manchester United? Are we going to have to sit here and discuss who we're signing on deadline day? So I don't know. I don't know what is happening to this football club. You know, I really, really don't know. Okay, so looking back at the comments. Do you live in England? Black Cat says, no, I don't live in England, but I am planning on moving to England sometime soon and joining Sky Sports, you know, and just taking my studio there. And yes, that's what's going to happen. You know, we've got to speak into existence. And I plan on going to Old Trafford as well. I need to be there at the Stretford end. Aryan says, ever found a Tottenham fan in Asia before Son became a thing? No, not really. Not never. Perparim says, Carrick is helping us right now. That's so good. And did you see the guy, day 424, of not cutting my hair until United's win 5 games in a row? Yes, the United strand will be cutting his hair. I am sure. I 100% sure he's cutting his hair. 2 more wins. That's all we need. We play 1 game a week. Only 1 game a week. So you can't tell me we're not ready for Spurs. We won't be ready for Spurs. So let's see what happens. And we've almost got a fully fit squad as well. The only players that I know that are injured is Matthias de Ligt. Xerxes is back. Who else is injured? That's basically it. Matthias Delict. And then everybody else is fit again. Old Trafford is mint, mate. Local mank here. I know. I always dream of going to Old Trafford. I know it's amazing. The atmosphere there, it's just the greatest. And I do want to go there before we actually get the new stadium built. So I want to be at Old Trafford, not New Trafford. Guys, if you just joined the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel on deadline day. This is it. This is it. And to be honest with you, I'm losing hope here in terms of signings. Even if it's a loan deal, like just bring someone. I would love to see a fresh face at Old Trafford. So hopefully, we will be getting someone come through. All our rivals are signing players, mate. We are sleeping. We are playing marbles. That's what we're doing. Also, I dropped your like and sub, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that. Orcel, Austrel. So yeah, appreciate that. You guys will glaze the new coach to his downfall. This is not glazing. 100% this is not glazing. We are just giving credit where it's due. He's doing well. 3 wins in a row. He beat top one, top two. He beat Fulham. There was a lot of doubt with Michael Carrick and Manchester United going out there and actually getting that third win. And look what he did. He went out there, beat Fulham. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to hate on the guy? He's doing everything right. And I even heard the likes of Rio Ferdinand wanting Michael Carrick to stay permanent in this position at Manchester United. But my thing is, if Michael Carrick does stay at Manchester United, he needs to have full control of the likes of transfers, of management. That's what a manager is. That's what a real manager is. I don't want the Glazers, Ineos, and Omar Barada's, Jason Wilcox to get involved. You get me? If Michael Carrick wants Lionel Messi or Ronaldo, let him go get them. Let him go get them. Because why are we falling back and listening to people who don't even understand the game of football? They don't know what's going on. We've got a former player, Michael Carrick, played for the club, knows the Manchester United DNA. Allow it, fam. Yes, Kobe Minu can't replace Casemiro, at least right now. Well, Black Cat, Kobe Minu, Casemiro, two different positions, two different style players. So Casemiro is a 6, Kobe's a 8. We need a 6. But yeah, seeing Casemiro play the way he's been playing, that no-look pass to Matias Cunha, that is just him saying, look here, guys, I'm leaving now. I'm leaving now. This is what you're going to be missing out on. But I've also heard a lot of reports saying that Casemiro voluntarily asked to leave Manchester United at the end of the season. I still feel like we could have added an extra season to his contract, but he's just decided that, look, I'm going to be hanging my boots right now. And I will be very surprised if he still goes to Saudi. I think this is just Casemiro bowing out now from the game. What is he, 34? Sid Sadar says, mate, why don't you support a great club with history like Real Madrid? Like Manchester United don't have history. I mean, we've got all the history in the world. We've literally won everything Real Madrid has won. So can't hide the fact of that. Did you guys also hear about the fact that Mateta is no longer going to AC Milan because that deal broke through? So yes, that deal collapsed, it's actually crazy. It's crazy. So Mateta not going to AC Milan, meaning that Strand Larsen won't be going to Crystal Palace anymore. So it's a whole monopoly game happening at the moment, which will be interesting. It will be interesting. I also heard rumors of Mateta to Manchester United. I don't know why these scouts are after a striker. Like, you didn't just see Benjamin Sesko score a wonder goal against Fulham. And Brian Buemo performing so well the way he is. We will have our revenge after that 2-0 City win, says Shady. Definitely. Definitely. Manchester United are always clearing up the power work here. We are always doing the dirty work for these teams. We did the dirty work for Manchester City against Arsenal. We did the dirty work for Arsenal against Manchester City. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Um, so yeah, I think what he means by haircut guy, he means the United Strand. That's his name, the United Strand. I actually forgot, but yes. We've got a Liverpool lover here, Liverpool forever. He says Liverpool are doing amazing, you know, with what's his name, Ekitike. What a bowler! What a signing! And I'm hearing a lot of you say he is the signing of the season, and I agree with that. Ekitike is a massive player, you know, massive player, and reminds me a lot of Suarez as well with his finishing. Wow, what a guy! But I'm going to stop glazing Liverpool for now because my club is doing just as great. You know, my boys are doing it all. The likes of Mbuemo, Amadiallo, Matias Cunha. Wow. Um, So yes, we've just got about a few more minutes until the transfer window closes for January. And next time it opens, it's obviously in the summer again. Guys, if you just joined the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully Manchester United can do some miracle here. Now we are relying on a miracle. That's where our club is at the moment. You know, we aren't moving like a smart club. Um, All right, guys. So I feel like our hopes of signing the likes of Adam Wharton, Elliot Anderson, your Balebas, I think that's going to have to wait until the summer, all right, until the season ends. And one of the big reasons is the fact that we are only playing one game a week, I think, because if we were in the Champions League, that would have been different. We would have panicked a little bit more in that regard. But now that Casemiro is playing well, now that we're only playing one game a week, I feel like we are calm in that department. So a new signing, I don't think so. You got the likes of Luke Shaw playing well. You got the likes of Maguire playing well. Lisandro Martinez, you know. So I don't think Manchester United are going to act up. City, the best in the world. I'm hearing no, I don't think so. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And hopefully, we can wake up with a new signing here. But yes, that's going to be me for now, guys. So next up, please don't forget to join the live. We are going to be live tomorrow, same time, same place. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for coming through. Shady Chris says, why do you support United? Well, I had no choice. Once you support United, there's no going back, you know. So, Karishma says, where are you? I'm in South Africa, mate. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel wherever you are in this world. Let's unite. Let's talk football. And guys, thank you so much for joining once again. See you next time.